Golf News RI presents the Golf Dudes Podcast. Here are the dudes.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Golf Dudes Podcast. Joe Claver here alongside Rich Capali. Rich, how you doing today, buddy boy? Happy Thursday.
I'm going to start this show off with a little bit of a fun fact. Boston received 84.1 inches of snow in a 20-day period between January 26th and February 15th, 8 years ago today. Almost 85 inches in a 20-day period.
And so far, I've not even seen 3 inches of snow.
It's crazy. Yeah. It's going to be, it's like 50 something degrees today. It's going to be in the 40s over the weekend. It's going to be great. Hopefully it might be getting out on Sunday, which will make things a lot better. But other than that, yeah, I'm doing good. The weather's the weather for this time of year. It's a little bit warmer, but other than that, everything's good.
And keep the snow away. So anyway, there's that. So there's a fun fact to start your show. You didn't know you were getting a weather report on the Golf News Podcast, but you got one. There you go.
It just legitimately popped up on Twitter. I was like, oh, this is a fun fact.
Golf Dudes Podcast presented by Link's Drinks. Link's Drinks is best known for their transfusion in a can. They have 3 different flavors: the front 9, back 9, and of course the regular transfusion. So check them out at liquor stores and country clubs across the state, across the country. And I know Fred and his crew are down at the PGA show. They have a booth. So if you're down there, or if you're heading down there, well, the PGA show is only tomorrow's the last day of it. So if you're heading down there, be sure to check out Link's Drinks and also check out Pinned while you're at it. They're down there at the PGA show in Florida. So thanks to Link's Drinks for their continued support. Crazy week. Obviously, we have T-Gate going on over in Dubai between Patrick Reed and Rory McIlroy. We have the Farmers Insurance Open round 2 about to get underway today over at Torrey Pines. They're supposed to have crazy winds. And the cut could be they were saying it could be like a U.S. Open type of cut with high scores if they get the win. They're expecting. So there's that. We have some local stuff and local people playing in big tournaments as well. So we'll do all that here on the Golf Dudes Podcast. I've spent almost no time on T-Gate because I think it's just ridiculous. I know we posted the video of it to our Instagram story, and that's about all we did. That's about all I've done with it. It's just kind of crazy. I do understand Rory's point. I mean, he's being kind of a bitch in this whole thing, but I do understand his. Oops, I shook the whole table. I do understand his point in the whole subpoena thing. Like, obviously, I get it. But most of it's just kind of silly. Patrick Reed's response was hysterical. But other than that, I've really spent no time on it. I thought the video was you couldn't even really see anything.
It's what's it called? It's like it's just a waste of time. That's all it is. It's just. It's a non-issue. It was funny. The banter was funny back and forth, but like we talked about before, I think Rory's being a giant bitch about the whole situation. Subpoena aside, this whole thing is just absolutely dumb, and I'm done with it, and I don't want to hear about it anymore. It's just be done with it.
Yeah, let's just focus on golf, but that's not going to happen because it's just going to keep going. We know Liv announced their schedule starting in February. They are not coming back to New England or the New England area, so that's a little too bad. But
we should go to New Jersey. We should go to Bedminster.
Yeah,
we can go for a day.
Take a road trip.
Like an overnight trip. Oh yeah, that would be. Yeah. Bye guys, I'm going to Miami for a week.
Yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, so Liv announced their schedule. They're supposed to be announcing their full roster soon. I guess somebody dropped out of or withdrew from the Farmers this week because they got a big offer from Liv or something. So I don't know if anybody's significant, but there's that. So that's kind of what's going on in the pro game. Obviously, like I said, spent no time on T-Gate, didn't even write about it. We posted the video on our Instagram story just because it was trending. But other than that, not much into it. Who cares? So local stuff. Well, again, worlds collide. Davis Chatfield, of course, missed the cut earlier this week on the Corn Ferry Tour. He comes back. He's back in action next Sunday. So not this Sunday coming up, but 2 Sundays, February 2nd. They are in Panama. So flying from the Bahamas to Panama. So should be fun. So he's back in action for his 3rd Corn Ferry Tour tournament. He's got 6 left. Again, it's not the end of the world. Obviously, it's a learning curve. It's adjustment. No one said it was going to be easy. So we'll see if he continues to learn and play better and be more comfortable as the tournaments go on. That's the goal. So he's off for a few days. But that's the surprising news. Well, I was surprised, so I didn't know about it. That Patrick Welch got a sponsor's exemption into the Farmers Insurance Open this week. And he is teeing off as we tape this podcast. He's teeing off for his 2nd round in about 15 minutes. So the Patrick Welch tracker will be back up that we had running yesterday. He's 1 over, shot 73 at Torrey Pines South, tied with John Rahm for whatever that's worth. And now he plays the historically easier North course today, but they're supposed to have really bad winds. So who knows what the cut's going to be? Who knows what the number is going to be? TV coverage, I believe, picks up at 3. Patrick was actually on TV a handful of times yesterday, so that was kind of cool to see. And he grinded along. I think the goal today should be to stay out of the greenside bunkers, because every time he was in a greenside bunker, I don't know if it's the sand or what, but he made a mess of those couple of that he was in the bunkers on. So stay out of the greenside bunkers. But so Patrick's playing in the PGA Tour this week, so gives me content for the rest of the week, which I was excited about. And the best part is, as Rich knows and we discussed last week, is that the PGA Tour leaderboard tracking is significantly better than the Corn Ferry Tour leaderboard tracking. So I can actually make content out of it, which we did yesterday. So I was happy about that, Rich.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That Corn Ferry follow along is just brutal. At least you can get stats off of the PGA one.
Oh, it's great. You can get stats, you can get shot by shot, you can get link to the videos when there's a video of them or whatever. It's great. Like I said, I could actually make content out of Patrick Welch playing in this tournament, which is great because it's freaking January and we need content.
There's nothing right.
Or else I'd be covering T-Gate. But thankfully I was able to skip T-Gate. So that's exciting. Hopefully he plays well today. See if he can make the cut again. They're supposed to have really bad winds over there today. So we'll see how that plays out. So that is going on. Of course, we're taping this on the anniversary of Kobe Bryant passing away. I think the Farmers Insurance Open will always now be linked to Kobe Bryant passing away. It's always going to be those same days. And I remember last year on the call with Jim Nance and all those guys talking about that moment and how they handled it, and do they tell players, they don't tell them, whatever. So that's also that also comes up this week as well. I'm sure there'll be some mention of it on the broadcast today. So that's what's going on in the PGA world. Again, the Patrick Welch tracker will be back up. He tees off in just 15 minutes from now, so he'll be multitasking soon. So good luck to him. Again, cool to see him on TV, and we'll do our best to cover the round and see if he can make the cut and see what happens from there. So
listen to this real quick. I'm going to butt in real quick because I'm scrolling through Twitter. This is from Lucy Burge.
Who's that?
She used to work for WEI. She works for BetQL now. As Patricia came under outside fire as the face of the offense, Judge drew increasing criticism from within. Belichick would blast him in practice, and it wasn't uncommon for Judge and Mac Jones to trade profanity-laced outbursts. Jones' trust in his position coach was effectively non-existent. Mac didn't like him at all. all this shit's starting to come out. This is gonna be great.
Well, they said it was gonna come out. I think
It
Chris
said
Casper, the Boston Globe, said all this shit was gonna come out. They just needed time for it to
Judge
get away.
Judge would speak extra loudly in meetings, trying to project like he was the guy, and I think that kind of rubbed people the wrong way. A lot of people were frustrated with Judge. Oh my god, this is great. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just thought that was hysterical.
No, I was pretty much done. I just wanted to, show Patrick some love on the PGA Tour here. But no, I think the Patriots are. I mean, they had to hire Bill O'Brien. They had to bring in somebody. I think Kraft put pressure on Belichick to do something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's.
I mean, if I don't, I think if Kraft didn't put pressure, I think it would have been the same bullshit next year.
Right. I think Bill's just playing out the
I don't
string.
think anything would have changed.
I think Bill's just playing. I think Bill was just trying to play out the string, get his Don Shula record, and that's what it feels like. And then Kraft's like, no.
I don't understand. Like they got Bill O'Brien. Why not go after like D Hop or somebody? Like get a real receiver. Like you get Hopkins. That's going to open up the field for the tight ends and the other wide receivers that you already pay for, like Parker and all those other guys. Jacoby Myers, all those guys. I don't get it. We have the money to spend. Spend it.
Yeah, I mean that D Hop has been rumored. I mean, I don't know if it's.
I mean, he's going to be expensive, but I mean, whatever. He's still got a ton of football left in him.
Mm-hmm. Who was he? 31 though.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
I think it's more important that they bring back Jacoby Myers and they resign.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Him. That's Mac's boy. That's Mac's number one boy. So I don't know.
But then again, you have Devontae Parker and Kendrick Bourne.
And Parker played
coordinator that knows how to use these guys. Then maybe
Parker played really, really, really well at the end of the season. So
yeah. So now they have a real offensive coordinator. Maybe they'll be all right. Even with those guys. So I think they have enough weapons. I don't think their weapons are bad. There's just that they had idiot coaches that didn't know what they were doing. And that just like boggles my mind that Belichick would let that happen. But anyways, we can get back to golf. No, it's fine. The funny part was that the Shrine Bowl that they're coaching, they announced Bill O'Brien hiring before the Patriots did.
Yeah, and then who is it? It's Bill. There's a bunch of Bill Mayo, Ty Law. No,
Troy Brown. I think it's
Troy Brown. And a whole bunch of other coaches are going to be coaching in that game, but no Steve Belichick.
Yeah. So
they were talking about that on the radio yesterday.
And the Patriots just announced the Bill O'Brien signing today, and Belichick had like a 2-sentence statement on it.
Yeah.
So that was hilarious.
So they were saying that that they wanted Bill O'Brien last year, but he didn't want to screw with Saban's with his contract with Alabama.
Right, because Belichick and Saban like love each other. They don't want to screw each other over.
Husband and wife.
Yeah. So now, of course, the danger is, or the concern is that Bill O'Brien's going to leave after 1 year for a head coaching job, and then you're back in the same spot you were in. So I guess that's some concern that's floating around.
Well, you also got to. I mean, if we make the playoffs and maybe get a playoff win, you give him more money. Wasn't McDaniels? McDaniels was getting paid like a head coach, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Like what, $8, $9, $10 million a year? I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was that much money, but it could be. It could have been for sure. So there's some Patriots talk for you as the Patriots hot stove continues.
Yeah, I'm legitimately just scrolling Twitter and stuff's coming up. So
that's the beauty of Twitter. That's about the only thing Twitter's good for. So there we go. We did some Patriot stuff. We talk about everything here on the Golf News Podcast, broadcast.
It's a blender.
Golf News RI Podcast Network, and of course, everybody listening to the audio version of this on Spotify and Apple. So yeah. So the only other golf note really I have, well, the Dubai thing the tournament in Dubai, like you said, they had a ton of rain. I guess this underway right now. I don't know if Golf Channel is showing it live or what the deal is, but the kid from Massachusetts, Michael Thorbjornsen, is actually playing in the tournament. He was 2 under on his round. So he's one of the top amateurs in the world. So he finished what, fourth at the Travelers, I think. Was it the Travelers where he had a
I
high
think so.
finish?
Yeah.
And everyone was
I
like
think so,
amazed that
yeah.
an amateur had a chance to like to win. No, I don't know if he had a chance to win it, but he was in the mix for sure. So he's playing it over in Dubai. So that's kind of a local interest. And I remember I talked to Michael at the U.S. Open, and I said, and he was supposed to play the Northeast Amateur the next week after the U.S. Open. If you remember, we went like U.S. Open, Northeast Amateur. And I said, can you just talk about playing the Northeast Amateur next week? And he goes, no, I'm skipping the Northeast Amateur to play the Travelers. So, oh, breaking news. I got like breaking news.
Fair enough.
So that was kind of funny. But he was a good kid when I talked to him for a few minutes or whatever. So we'll keep an eye on him as well. Can't promise there's going to be a Michael Thorbjornsen tracker, but we'll definitely keep an eye on his round. He's playing good so far over in Dubai. And I know Patrick Reed's having a good round. Rory bounced back. They have a good field over there. I don't know if it's better than the Farmers Insurance field, but it's pretty close. It feels like. So there's that. The only other really cool story that happened this week, really on a local level, is the renovation of Wannamoisett was named the best in the U.S. by Golf Digest. So that was pretty cool. Obviously, we worked hard on that renovation. I mean, hard on that, but we did a lot of content on it, stories. Obviously, Andrew Green gave me a tour of the renovation. We did a cool video of it. So always appreciative for him to doing that, because he most certainly didn't have to. So that was pretty cool. Wannamoisett obviously getting more national recognition. Not that they needed it.
I can't wait to play it.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll get on, try to play this year. But yeah. So
Yeah, you gotta let me know when that practice round is.
Yeah, the
Not practice round. You know what I'm talking about.
the media day.
For the the media day. Yeah.
Northeast Amateur Media Day. Which
Yep.
is always a good time. At least it was last year. So that was the other big thing that happened this week locally. Again, cool story for Wannamoisett. And we put it on Instagram. They actually shared it to their Instagram. They shared our Instagram story to their Instagram story. So that was kind of cool. And we gained a handful of followers. We're over 500 followers now on Instagram, so that's good. And other than that, we're just gearing up for the season. Still keep an eye on a few big things that are that are coming down the pike, and we'll let you know on those. But that's pretty much it on the golf side of things on the local level. Obviously, Patrick is underway now at Torrey Pines. We'll see. It's been interesting to see what the cut's going to be again. It's supposed to have brutal winds. So who knows what the hell's going to happen. But right now he's tied with John Rahm, so that's pretty good. What's your take on Rahm's winning streak? He's
pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. He's won what? 3 out of his last 4 starts, or four out of his last 5?
Four out of his last 6.
It's crazy. He's absolutely just killing every golf course he goes to. It's insane. He's playing at Torrey Pines, right?
Yeah.
Because he won there 3 years ago. Yeah,
2 years ago, wasn't it? The U.S. Open there was when?
3 years.
It wasn't last year. Where was the U.S. Open last year?
Boston.
It wasn't last year. It was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Yeah. Yeah. No. What else is there to say? 4 out of 6. I mean, that's almost kind of Tiger-esque. Not quite, but now he's playing great golf. I mean, he should be number 1 soon. But yeah, there's really nothing else to say. He's just absolutely killing it.
Yeah, so he's playing this week. Dustin Thomas playing this week. Torrey Pines always gets a decent field anyway. And of course, you have everyone's favorite tournament, the Phoenix Open at the Stadium course. That's
on Super Bowl weekend.
Yeah. Oh, I know. It always
that
is.
and the Super Bowl's in Arizona. That is that place even going to be standing after that weekend? That is
No.
going to be insane.
Yeah.
Like
It's always
you got-
a great week because the Phoenix Open ends on the Sunday of the Super Bowl.
Yeah. and
And
it
so
ends right before the Super Bowl starts.
Our Kurt Brad Super Bowl party, we're literally watching golf for the first 3 hours of the thing.
Yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
no one's gonna, and it's always a decent finish. Usually, like it's always
Yeah.
a close tournament. It's always a good finish. And so
Yep.
it's like no one changes the TVs over until the Phoenix Open. Like I remember last year, I think the Super Bowl actually started, and we were all standing around the TV at the bar watching the golf tournament.
Yeah, because it went into extra holes.
Extra
It went
holes.
into
I
extra
think the
holes.
Super Bowl actually started already. And we were all, it was me, it was Dave Fontaine, Doug. We were all sitting there.
What was it? It was
watching the golf tournament. It was hilarious.
It was Thigala and what's his face, right?
No, wasn't it
Scheffler?
Scheffler? Wasn't it Scheffler and Cantlay?
I thought it was Thigala.
I don't know. You could be
right. I don't remember, but yeah, it was nuts. Yeah, that's funny.
So that's always always a fun week, obviously at the stadium course there. How about how about the foreplay guys in the LPGA? They got a good showing in the LPGA.
Yeah,
the Stableford thing.
Yeah,
last week.
I know you just froze.
Brooke Henderson won the thing, but
oh, there we go. You're back. Yeah, no, I mean, they apparently Rappaport, he put together a round. He had an eagle and like 3 birdies or something like that.
Yeah, I guess
I'm not really. Yeah, he's like a +1, I think. Not really a big fan, but that's a thing for another show. But yeah, like they all took turns, one round apiece, and then there was certain points. I think you get like 4 points for an eagle, 3 points for a birdie, and so on. So yeah, that's kind of cool. They always wanted to do it against like a PGA Tour field, so this is the next best thing. So I think they were like 29th place or something, or 28th, something like that. So they do make a good golfer, the 4 of them, because every guy has a specialty type of thing.
Right.
You know, like Riggs is very good at putting and chipping, and Frankie can stripe the ball, and Dan can stripe the ball, and Trent is Trent, but whatever. But they make a pretty decent all around golfer when they play a scramble, which is why they play against the pros. So, but yeah, it was cool. It was finally good to see them actually see like where they are up against professionals, which was kind of cool.
You know, it was cool. It was, it was worth. I was following that tournament a little bit, not just because of them, but just I know it was a close finish between Brooke Henderson and Nelly Korda.
Did you see the video of Larry Fitzgerald working Frankie on the pickleball court?
Yeah.
Oh my God, yo! It was that. I'm not a big Frankie fan, but I watched that like 2 or 3 times, and I was just laughing. He was talking shit to him the entire time. I loved it.
Yeah, pickleball's the new thing apparently.
Yeah,
everyone's playing it now. So
yeah,
maybe we'll start a pickleball news round. No, I'm just kidding.
Coming to a country club near you.
Yeah. So that was kind of are they in the video game yet? Did that happen yet? Are they officially?
Not yet. No, not yet. I think February. I think they said February.
All right. That'd be something. So,
It's so funny. I'm on Golf Galaxy's website, and there's a pickleball thing you can click on. I just looked at it. It's like a menu. That's so funny. But yeah, I just want this next month and a half, 2 months to go by quick. We can get back on the course.
Well, we played around at least one round in March every year for the last couple of years anyway. So
yeah, we've always had that like 60-degree couple days where it was nice. And I'm hoping to get out on Sunday. I mean, 45 is not too bad. So
no, if it's with no wind.
Yeah. My buddy Jason played last Sunday, and it was just hovering around like 39, 40. He goes, it was so cold. He goes, it took me like 2 hours to warm up afterwards. I woke up that morning. I'm like, no, I'm not going. Nope. not happening. My dad did the same thing. He's like, nope, it's too cold.
So maybe we'll get some golf. Maybe some people will get some golf on Sunday. I'm sure some of these diehards will.
I'm starting to twitch, man. I'm getting antsy. I'm getting real antsy. Now, I'm not saying like play like 2-3 times a day like we do in the 2-3 times a week like we do in the summer, but like just once a month maybe just to get out,
Yeah,
just to get out of the house on a Sunday,
Yeah, it was nice weather. It was nice enough weather. I know I'm friends with some of the guys at Pawtucket Country Club, and they've been playing like straight through. But they 45
Dude,
degrees,
crazy.
and they get out there and they play. They have groups that go off. They play matches.
I deliver
nuts.
I deliver up near Crystal Lake, and if it's over like 30, 37, 38 degrees, the place is packed. Not packed, but packed for winter. And I'll drive by the back near the school. I'll see people, then I'll go around the front where the entrance is, and the parking lot's like a quarter full in January. It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll see what happens. But maybe he'll play. Let's take a quick commercial break, and then we'll come back. We'll talk about some other sports. I know we already talked about the Patriots, but we'll do some other sports talk perhaps. Wrap up some golf stuff, and then we will be done. This is the Golf News Podcast. We'll be right back. Billy Andre joins the show. Billy, thanks so much for doing this, and we appreciate you taking the time.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
I'm very excited to be joined by an 11-time Emmy Award winner, and that is Armin Katayan.
Massachusetts Women's Amateur Champion Allison Paik.
The days of the country club just being golf and maybe one amenity are gone. Unfortunately, Metacomet doesn't have those.
He has a very rare condition called kyphoscoliotic Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And at the time of diagnosis, there was only 60 documented cases in the world.
When we legitimately played the last 4 holes at Newport National, you could not see 50 yards.
And welcome back to the Golf News Podcast, presented by Link Strengths, broadcasting on the Golf News RI Podcast Network and on Apple and Spotify. So thanks to everybody who's listening to those so far. We're trying to figure out a way to bring more attention to Apple and Spotify links. Just if we're gonna have them, we might as well do something with them. So we're working on that, figuring out what the best way to show those off are and display those. Could be in the link tree, could be just in like a weekly story kind of thing. But anyway, so Patrick Welch teed off at the Torrey Pines. He's playing the North Course today. He bogeyed the first hole, so he is 2 over for the round. And obviously he literally just teed off. He's on the second hole now. So unfortunately, Shot Link is not available on the North Course. So there will not be too many details on the tracker, but the tracker will be up or is up, and we'll be on it. So we'll see what the cut looks like, and how he does. But the North Course historically has played easier than the South Course. Again, I don't know what the wind conditions are over there, but that's where we are. So at the time of this taping, Patrick Welch has just teed off on the PGA Tour. So exciting stuff one way or the other. And everything else going on, we talked about Wannamoisett getting some national recognition. We should tell you, I don't have a story about it. Former URI star Christopher Core is playing the West Florida Golf Tour. Yes, there is such a thing. And he is currently in third, 3 shots off the lead down in Florida. So we'll have some coverage of that as well. Will Dixon gets his season underway in just a few weeks. So he's playing a lot of Corn Ferry Tour Monday Qs this year to try to find a way into some status. So lots going on in the pro world, the mini tour pro world. By the way, if anybody has a chance to watch it, it's worth your time. My guy Monday Q Info and the Fire Pit Collective, they just put out that episode 1 of The Grind. following Mark Baldwin and they're following someone like the mini tour guys that are trying to make it. Is well worth your time. It's a 20-minute episode about this one's about Mark Baldwin, but they're doing a bunch of them. So if you want to know what mini tour life is like and what real pro golf is like, other than what you see on kind of the PGA Tour, it's worth your time. I shared the link on my Facebook page, just because I thought it was so well done. And congrats to Monday Q Info, Ryan, whose name is Ryan French, and obviously everybody at the Fire Pit Collective on episode 1. So if you're into that kind of thing and you want to see kind of the life of a pro golfer who hasn't made it yet and who hasn't earned anything, is definitely worth your 20 minutes. So be sure to check that out. I want to get into some other sports because it is January, and we understand that there's only so much golf to talk about, although it has been a busy week. PC basketball got a W last night over a terrible Butler. Brad Stevens was in the building. I think Butler should offer him every single thing in the world and ask him to coach again, because that team was a mess. I mean, they got off to a good start. They were up 14-7 or something early on. Then PC came back. So good win for the Friars. They had to win. They had to win that game. So wasn't the most exciting thing in the world, but like I said, see you in a Facebook message. You gotta win the games you're supposed to win. You can't lose them. You can't be UConn and lose to St. John's at home. So
Right.
So big win for PC. Also shout out for URI basketball as they somehow beat Dayton last night at the Ryan Center. So good for them. The Bruins are still the best team in the NHL world. I gave them credit last week after they beat the Rangers, and I still got my balls busted. So I'm not giving them credit anymore. You guys are gonna choke in the playoffs. And
yeah, right.
But I think they have a legitimate shot at this record. Now, remember when we talked about this last week? I said, "What's the record? What's the best record of all time?" And now all of a sudden, that's all you hear about. There's people tracking it. Now all of a sudden, it's becoming a thing. And it has nothing to do with me bringing it up. It was just one of the. It was just people all of a sudden paying attention to it.
No, I know. It's crazy.
They play with the Lightning tonight. That should be a good game.
Lightning, Florida, Lightning, Panthers, and then I think it's the All-Star break, right? I think the All-Star game's next weekend.
Carolina. There's another
Carolina, then the All-Star break, and then my dad and my brother are doing the Canadian trip. They're going to Seattle, Vancouver, Calgary, and Edmonton. They're doing they're doing the road trip with the Bruins. So that's in mid-February, I think, or second. Right, I think it's the road trip after the All-Star break.
That'd be a heck of a trip. That'd be a heck of a trip to do.
I know. Yeah, I have no interest in going to Canada, to be honest.
No, but I mean, it's the Edmonton is historic.
Oh no, I'd love to go to Edmonton and Calgary. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
That'd be fantastic. I have no use for like Seattle or Vancouver.
Yeah, I mean, I heard Vancouver's very nice. Everyone says that.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I have no idea, and the Canucks are a disaster. What they do at Boudreaux, and then they took
Dude,
TNT.
Yeah, they kept parading him out and expecting poor Bruce to friggin' like do these press conferences about the shitty team and I was like, I felt so bad for him. Like they just kept parading him out, and then all of a sudden, boom, he's gone, and Taka comes in. Like
right away, the same day.
Right, like same day. I'm like, what the hell, man? So bad.
That was a bad look for Vancouver. I mean, that's sports. That's the business of sports, I guess. But I feel like there's better ways to handle it than
of course, right?
So that's what's going on in the hockey world. Celtics are struggling. At least the last 2 games they play the Knicks. I think they play the Knicks tonight.
Both teams are playing tonight.
That'll be a win.
You would think.
They play the Lakers on Saturday night at the Garden. So, but yeah, that's what's going on kind of in the world of sports. We talked some Patriots earlier. Who you got this week? Who do you like?
I want the 49ers. I think they can pull it off, and I hate the Chiefs. So I'm going with the Bengals. And I like Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's the same thing with Josh Allen. Like it's like he's a nice dude, cool dude.
Cocky as shit.
And cocky as shit. Yeah, I like Burrow because he's cocky. Yeah. And I just hate the Chiefs with a passion. So hopefully, so it'd be nice. That'd be nice to have the Bengals and the Niners.
Mm.
That'd be a good matchup. Or even, I mean, Bengals and Philly too. But I hate Philly even more than I hate KC. So, but yeah, got good sports weekend for us. You got PC at noon, the game at 3, and then the game at 7, I think, or 6:30, 7 o'clock. Then the AFC game at 6:30, 7 o'clock. So not gonna be a bad sports weekend.
No, it should be a good sports weekend. We have Celtics Lakers Saturday night. Then you turn around, you have PC at noontime against Villanova in Philadelphia, where no one's gonna be paying attention to Villanova. So
No.
good break there. And then you have the 2 football games, and I'm sure there's other hockey games mixed in. I know the Bruins got at least 1 more game, 2 more games, and then the Rangers have to have a game somewhere in there. So yeah, so lots going on. But that's the only good thing about winter, is that all the sports are back, and there's tons of stuff to watch on TV, whether it's local teams that we care about or national games like national college basketball games or other interesting sporting events that are going on. So that's the only positive about winter. Other than that, there's really nothing positive about winter. Yeah.
Thomas is 4 under.
So that is what we got. And yeah. So anyways, we are going to get out of here. It was an exciting show. We did some local stuff. I gotta get the Patrick Welch tracker up and running, as he is off to the races here. And we'll follow the Dubai stuff. We have the Christopher and Cora stuff, and the West Florida Golf Tour, whatever it's called. So there you go. There's so many mini tours that I'm learning about over the last couple of years. You wouldn't even know. But hey, whatever you gotta do to make it, that's what you gotta do. And they're trying to live the dream, but it's a long way to get to, it's a long way to get to the dream. So anyway, this has been the Golf Dudes podcast. Thanks to everybody for tuning in, and hopefully we all have a great weekend. Enjoy the football games, enjoy the golf, of course. Torrey Pines is always a fun tournament to watch. A good field, and the Dubai thing. If Dubai is on TV, that's always good to watch as well. And try not to flick any tees to anybody this week, okay? If you play on Sunday, don't flick any tees.
That's the first thing I'm going to do to my dad. I'm going to flick a tee right at him.
I don't know if anybody saw it. You sent it to me. The Homa Morikawa.
Oh, that was
thing.
That was
that
gold.
was hilarious.
That was good. That was good stuff.
Yeah, that was pretty solid. So that's what we got. I hope everyone has a great rest of your day, or rest of your night, and a great rest of your week. This has been the Golf Dudes podcast. We'll talk to you throughout the week on golfnewsri.com. Have a good weekend, everyone.